Another day, another video. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we're watching a big round favorite. This is the 16th episode of the 8th season. Hope you guys have been enjoying it so far. If you'd like to watch today's full episode, it is available for a link in the description below. Just click it, put a password in, and enjoy. So, I didn't intend to watch 3 episodes today, but obviously this is the 3rd one for me, and it's because of the ending of the last episode. You know, we ended not really on a cliffhanger, but on some really important information, and I feel like I need to see today's episode and the aftermath of it and see if it's kind of glossed over or see how we actually proceed forward, because actually something big has kind of happened. You know, a character that we've been kind of entertained by, but never really actually seen, and she actually has made a massive impact on the show. And the character we love in Howard, you know, his mum sadly actually passed away last episode. He had the phone call while he was in the store. Obviously, that Stuart was kind of rebranding and getting ready to reopen at launch day. He got a phone call that his mum had died, and I mean, that's just pretty devastating, to be honest. You know, she's been so funny so far in the show, and you know, it's been a massive impact on Howard's life and who he is today, and the character that we actually love. That, like, I have to see today's episode. I couldn't finish and just say, right, I'll watch it tomorrow, because I'm really intrigued. You know what I mean? Like, this is something that I'm actually very fascinated about, and I'd like to see what we do with it and the direction we take and how it actually has an impact on him. It's very obviously touchy subject and emotional, but I feel like if we do it well and give her a good send-off, and obviously we express how good she was to Howard and everything like that, it could be actually really nice. But I'm very intrigued to see how we do it. Thanks for checking out today's episode. Hope you guys enjoy it. If you do, please smash like, really helps out. Subscribe if you do, and as always, let's jump into today's episode.
Just read about an experiment designed to see if you could make 2 people fall in love in a matter of hours.
My research has shown that it takes 3 to 5 years of shameless begging.
That article you're talking about, the participants ask each other a series of questions designed to promote intimacy.
And then they finish it off by staring into each other's eyes for 4 minutes.
Oh, that's nonsense.
Raj, would you ever try an experiment like that with Emily?
Well, I don't need science to win a heart. Have my family's wealth for that.
We don't have to debate this. We're scientists. We can conduct our own research. I propose that we imprison 2 street people.
No.
Why don't you just do the test?
In the interest of science, I'd be willing to.
What, you're okay with an experiment where you have to answer awkward questions about your innermost feelings?
Yes.
What if the experiment works?
I'm not gonna fall in love with Sheldon.
That's what I said. Before I knew it, he pontificated his way right into my heart.
Pontificate comes from the Latin word pontifex, which means bridge builder or pope.
In love yet?
It's going to be good, actually. These two, like, I think I've said it many times, but I think my best duo, to be honest, it's kind of changed a bit, because I feel like Amy and Sheldon actually are decent. And like I said, Amy's rapidly becoming one of my favourites. Sheldon's consistently been one. Together, they're both very good. But apart from that, since day 1, season 1, Penny and Sheldon, every time they've been together, I've really enjoyed them. I feel like they've got a great connection, and obviously if we're going to get another episode with them two spending a lot of time together, it's going to be really good. Honestly, it is.
Just out of curiosity, Penny, if this experiment does make us fall in love, would you drive me to Lake Geneva, Wisconsin for Gary Con?
You know what, I can honestly say, if we fall in love, not only will I drive you there, I will buy you all the Dragon t-shirts you want.
Okay, babe, let's do this.
You guys are really being calm about Penny and Sheldon doing this thing. Even if the study's nonsense, I don't believe in tempting fate.
Well, are we just gonna sit here while they do the experiment?
The 2 of us could do it.
Yeah, sure, that might be fun.
What's the first question?
Given the choice of anyone in the world, whom would you want as a dinner guest?
I can honestly say Penny.
Then I choose a janitor, because I'm about to throw up.
I'm in love, let's do something else.
He gets off work soon. Why don't the 4 of us go out?
Okay.
Sounds good.
Should we call Howard and Bernadette?
I don't know what time the plane gets in, but let me shoot him a text.
Are you kidding me? You lost my mother's ashes?
Imagine that.
No, I'm just saying that sometimes bags are misrouted.
All right, fine. Where did you misroute the only woman who ever loved me? The first, what? First, I meant first.
What's the flight number?
E16.
Can you describe the bag?
Well, it's black. There's a red ribbon tied to the handle.
The world's greatest mom is in the shoe compartment.
That reminds me of Lost. You know, Jack was getting onto the plane. Oh yeah, down to the plane and he dropped down and they lost his dad and he was manoeuvring back, wasn't he? He went to Australia to bring his body back and obviously he got lost in transit. Very similar to that. And mate, how stressful would it be?
I assume you don't want wine?
Correct. You're not supposed to drink alcohol when operating heavy machinery. Well, as a Texas gentleman, I'm inclined to say ladies first. Although, I'm concerned that level of politeness and charm might make you fall in love with me before the test even begins.
Given the choice of anyone in the world, whom would you want as a dinner guest?
As much as I'd love to meet Euclid, inventor of the geometric proof, he probably wore sandals, and I cannot look at toes during dinner. The person I'd most like to have dinner with is myself. Who would you choose?
Robert Downey Jr.
Oh.
That would be a good one.
I didn't think of Iron Man. Maybe after myself and I have dinner, we could meet you two for dessert.
You know what, right? If they're going to be asking more questions like that throughout the episode, I'll start answering them. You know, if we're going to get numerous amounts, I'll start thinking about them. Mate, literally, as soon as he said it, my instinct was to say Cristiano Ronaldo. Why? I don't know. He's my favourite player of all time. He's just an absolute GOAT. He's brought loads of joy to my life. And I just think, mate, the guy's he's just unreal at football, to be honest. But there's many good options. But he was just popping in my head. As a kid, I absolutely loved him, followed him all his career. And obviously, he's still at his peak now. You know what I mean? He's still been selected to go to the Euros. So it'd be interesting to see, obviously, who you guys would choose for your dinner date. I mean, if I deeped it and looked into it a bit more, I'd probably go a bit further and somebody who's had a big impact in my life. But straight away, instant thought was him. If they're going to do more questions like this, we'll play along.
Ooh, have you ever been to an escape room?
What's that?
It's kind of like interactive theater, except you have to solve puzzles in a certain amount of time to get out.
So kind of like what's happening with Penny right now.
What would constitute a perfect day for you?
I'd probably sleep in, do a little yoga, then lie on the beach while cute cabana boys brought me drinks, and probably get a massage, and then cap off the night with some dancing.
You didn't mention Leonard.
He's there.
Leonard can't stand yoga, the beach, massages, or dancing. I wake up, I enjoy some French toast with butter and syrup. Then a wormhole opens, whisks me millions of years into the future, where my towering intellect is used to save the last remnants of mankind from a predatory alien race.
Interesting you didn't mention Amy.
Who do you think made the French toast with butter and syrup?
Right, so if I was to wake up, yeah, I'd like to wake up, go for a run or a walk on the beach with a dog, absolutely chilling, you know what I mean? And then obviously I'd do something good and active, so maybe like go to a theme park or maybe go on a hike in the sun, you know. None of the stuff that you could do here in the UK, honestly. Like, where I live, no beaches. You know, where I live, no sun, definitely not. You know what I'm saying? And, like, there's no theme parks. And if there are, they're absolutely terrible. So, like, it's stuff that you can't really do in it. So, like, I'd get up, go on the beach, have a walk, you know. I'd go to a theme park. I'd come home, have a nice, big, fat steak dinner. And then, hopefully, you know, go and watch United dominate. And, like we done against City in the FA Cup final. And that would just top it off and then go out with the lads and have a few drinks, celebrating obviously our win. That'd be great. Nice and simple, nothing too extreme.
You're about to enter the lab of the late Dr. David Salzberg. While conducting studies on slowing the aging process, there was a catastrophic accident and he died. Or did he?
She's kind of like Velma in that orange.
This is cool.
So how do we start? We have to look for the clues hidden around the room.
Wasn't this supposed to be a zombie? Okay, let's hope one of the clues is written on a pair of clean underwear.
Tell your bag arrived in Los Angeles.
So where is it?
I don't know. Perhaps somebody took it off the carousel by mistake?
So some stranger has my mom? Okay, great. So your entire job is to find lost luggage, and you've narrowed down the location of my mother to the planet Earth.
Would 500 frequent flyer miles help? That could get you to Sacramento.
Wake up tomorrow, having gained any one quality or ability, what would it be?
Turning water into wine sounds pretty good.
I don't think you're taking this seriously. I believe what you're doing is using humor to avoid vulnerability.
I wish I could be as smart as you guys.
You may not be as academically inclined as are we. You possess an intelligence I envy, which leads me to my answer. I would choose the ability to read people's minds.
Actually, that's not true. I can read men's minds, but only because it's usually the one thing.
When are we going to get robot eyes? I often misinterpret how others are feeling. Like, I can't always tell if someone is only joking or laughing at me. It's incredibly stressful. If I could read people's minds, life would be so much simpler.
Oh, I just felt this wave of affection for you.
Sure it's not too much Bible juice?
Mate, to me, it's talking to animals. Like, obviously, whereas I've got this one here, he literally always barks at every single person that walks on the street, even if they're nowhere near him. He just wants to fight everyone, even though if they come over to him, he'd crap himself. And then I've got him absolutely chilling over there, doesn't make a sound, doesn't do anything. He's absolutely just loves sleeping and then running around in the garden. Do you know what I mean? I would love to literally just turn over and say, what are you thinking? And then just let him just waffle back to me all of it. You know, it'd be so good. And imagine being able to go to the zoo or something, start talking to all the animals. You know, I would, if I had a choice between eliminating every human off the world and eliminating every animal, I would choose all the humans. I mean, obviously keep me here and a select few. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I much prefer animals. They make me they make me so much happier. You know what I mean? In life, like if I go outside and see somebody's dog that's not even mine, I'm happy. I'm like, yeah, look at this dog, way, like loving it. Well, like if I see another person that I don't know try and talk to me, I'm just like, ugh, mate, what's this guy talking to me for? I just want to be chilled and left alone. Do you know what I mean? So like, I would choose animals all day. I love it.
Got the cipher decoded.
How's it going with the globe?
We use the coordinates to locate the cities.
I'm putting the city names in the grid now. I'm sure that'll give us the code to the safe.
No refund for finish early.
Isn't it? They've done it in like 5 minutes.
Sure you don't want to go home?
She asked me to drive her to the airport. I was too busy, and I made her take a cab.
Oh, you could have known.
She's gonna go mad.
You better find my husband's mother, because one way or another, we're walking out of this airport with a dead woman.
See, again, this is one thing, I mean, lots to talk about this episode, that I never understand is, like, how is it her fault that it's been lost? You know what I mean? She's literally just a person working in the airport. She didn't lose it. Whoever put it on the plane or whoever misplaced it, you know what I mean? But she gets all the grief. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot of times in life where somebody's hounding somebody and shouting at them. It's like, mate, I am the middleman. I have nothing to do. I don't know who you are. I don't even know who you're moaning at. Like, you're just moaning at me. I can't even help you. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, so I feel sorry for her because she hasn't done anything.
What book are we looking for?
Origin of species.
Here it is.
Oh, okay. Brothers and sisters, I have none, but this man's father is my father's son. Who am I looking at?
I don't have a brother. My father's son is me. And if I'm this man's father, then he's my son. The answer's son.
Oh, got the key!
So that's the key to the door?
Sorry, guys. Really thought the puzzles would be better.
Well, to be fair, we do all have advanced degrees.
Remember that before you post on Yelp.
If you were to die this evening with no opportunity to communicate with anyone, what would you most regret not having told someone?
So it would be today?
Oh yeah, that's pretty deep, that.
I suppose there's something satisfying about dying on my birthday.
Today's your birthday?
Yes.
What? That's always been a secret. Not even Amy knows.
The thought of people jumping out and yelling surprise fills me with more dread than the words George Lucas director's cut. The point of the experiment is to be
last
completely
day.
honest with each other.
Yeah.
That was so funny. I never would have pegged you for a Pisces.
It was returned.
Thank God. It's okay. She's here. Ma's here.
Just want you to know that I'll never forgive myself for being so selfish. And I promise to keep you close for the rest of my life.
Oh no, that thing's gonna end up in my bedroom.
All left to do is stare into each other's eyes for 4 minutes without talking.
We're good to go.
This is kind of creepy.
We're not supposed to talk during this part.
Sorry.
You have a brown fleck in your right iris that looks like a Formula One race car. So I'm just concentrating on that. Well, I suppose I do think of you as a sister, and sometimes a mother.
It's getting creepy again. Thinking about the day I met you and Leonard.
It was a Monday afternoon. You joined us for Indian food.
I can't remember a time you guys weren't in my life.
Interested? I also remember how much you owe us for the food. I think it's safe to say that you're not in love with me, and I'm not in love with you. And psychology has once again proved itself the doofus of the sciences. Given our newfound intimacy, I'd say we have some hard choices to make.
Like what?
Gary Con, do we fly or drive? Thank you for walking me home.
Just want to make sure you get there safe.
This is me. It's been a very interesting evening.
It really has.
Oh, did she tell him?
And after I let you be Gary.
Do you know, that is a deep secret that he wanted to keep in, like, you know, personally to himself. I mean, it's not deep about telling everybody, but you know what I mean? Like, you would have thought that she would have kept it to herself. Something intimate that, like, nobody else knows, and he felt comfortable to disclosing it towards you. Do you know what I mean? Like, nobody else acquires this information, and he feels like he could trust you with it. And straight away, you kind of blabbed. Now, I know it's obviously his birthday. I don't know what I'm saying there. And, you know, it's a celebration. You know what I mean? And it's not that deep. But it, again, you know, is the reason why he didn't want anybody to know, because he hates the whole point of these surprises. As soon as he walks in, boom, he gets what he didn't like. So that was interesting. Now, although the experiment didn't work out and they didn't actually fall in love with each other, the experiment did actually work in terms of bringing two people more closely together, and I suppose that's kind of like the end goal, really, isn't it? I know they say, well, I can guarantee you to fall in love, but at the end of the day, if you go in and do something and you come out better off than you was before, I would say that was a success. Do you know what I mean? So the fact is, these two was close anyway, but they've gone in there, they've learned personal details about each other, you know what I mean? Like, he's exposed himself emotionally a little bit. He was saying that he can't read people that well, and obviously she was like, I wish that I could do this and this to help you out, and X, Y, and Z, and I feel like it was just nice to see them two bonding. I said it earlier on at the start of the episode that these, since day one, have always been like two people that have always hit it off and been close, and I've always enjoyed the episodes. And I feel like as we progress forward a bit and introduced, I feel like when we introduced the girls straight away, we kind of lost the connection between Penny and Sheldon, because obviously we was focusing the girls being around Penny, and we could bring them into the show, because it's always hard to bring new characters in and obviously make you kind of like them or have some sort of interest in them. So for example, when Pre was introduced, I never really took to her, and I didn't really care that she was in it or she wasn't. You know what I mean? She was just a character that was there. But I actually really like Bernadette and I like Amy, so they've done well in how they pinned them towards Penny, because obviously it's a big character and it's one that we enjoy. And we kind of lost it between obviously Sheldon and Penny, the episodes that we currently have. But then in the last 2-3 seasons, we kind of brought it back together, and she's spending a lot more time with him. And obviously the single episodes out like today is really good, and obviously it works really well. And, you know, hopefully in the future we can see these spend more time together, and we can obviously, you know, enjoy the crazy scenes and the stuff that kind of goes on. And to be honest, I actually feel sorry for Howard in the concept of, he thought that, well, he just learned his mum died last episode. He tried to fly her body back. Where did she die, actually? Where was she fly? She must have gone on a holiday and passed away, innit? And then obviously he's cremated her over there, brought her back. I'm not really too sure, because obviously they all live in California and he never had to go and fly anywhere to get home. So she must have died somewhere else and obviously been cremated, and he's gone and brought her back. And obviously the whole craziness of thinking that he lost her would... Mate, I couldn't explain how I would feel if I was in that situation. Okay, that is going to wrap up today's episode. Thanks for checking out the channel today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. So the guys, they went and done an escape room, and it was good to see Emily in the show a little bit more. You know, I've been saying recently that she's referenced being Radji's girlfriend, and, you know, she makes cameos here and there, and she didn't have massive minutes in the show today, but, like, she had much more than she recently does, which I would say is a big positive. Do you know what I mean? Like, obviously, he's with her. It's nearly been a full season that they've technically been dating. We've only seen her a little bit here and there, and it's, you know, I'm fine with it. If we get episodes like today, it's good, because it can't stay too long by the time we see him, because they don't feel like he's in a relationship. Do you know what I mean? But, like, as long as he dip her in here and there, and she works well with the gang, you know, the time that she was introduced, she didn't work well with Penny, and then since then we're not really seeing them together. We're going to do an escape room. Now, when I done an escape room in real life, I didn't get out of it. It was solid, honestly. It was really hard. It's actually really hard. I was sat in a room, it was like a jail cell, and there was a radio, and it was talking, and it was flicking through different things, and I was messing around with the frequency there. I thought, like, we had to play about it. It was going through languages as well. It was going for, like, English and French and Spanish and German, and it was continuously going, and they ended up having to come in and tell us like how to get to the next stage because we spent so long on that section. Like, because obviously you're stuck in a jail cell and that's just going on. And basically, what he was trying to say is how many times they spoke in a language that was on repeat was the number of the code that was to the lock on the door. So, for example, they might say a sentence in English, but they only say it one time, and that was number 1. You know what I mean? And then the next time they'll speak in German and they'll repeat the sentence 4 times, and then the code's 4. But mate, trying to figure that out, I think it sounds dead simple now by saying it, but if I just hand you a radio and it's just full of different languages just waffling, it's like, mate, how am I supposed to decipher him? You only get like an hour as well. You know what I mean? Like to break through it. These guys are so clever, obviously. Like the scientists, they kind of know how things work and what they do. And even the zombie was like, mate, you know, if you solve it now, you're still, you know, gonna still have to pay the right amount. There's no prizes for going that quick. Solved it in 6 minutes. Still leave us a good review. That's what you're saying, you know. But on the general troll public, they are hard and they are interesting. And they, you know, I would recommend doing one if you've never done one before. And obviously, I should go back to the other gang that we just said there. In terms of Sheldon and Penny, I feel like they got closer in today's episode. I do really like them two as a couple. I'd like them to spend more episodes, you know, just them two alone, because they do give us good scenes. And, you know, every time I see them, I don't really think, like, today they were supposed to be falling in love. I never really thought that. And I never really got any sexual tension. I never really thought maybe they would kiss. But I actually thought, you know, these do give off brother-sister vibes. You actually really do, and you know, it just made them kind of closer, which is more entertaining. And obviously, with the Howard situation, I'm glad that he's got his mum back. And you know, I wouldn't say it wasn't a joke last episode. Obviously, if that was, then I'd be complaining that why would they pull something like that? Do you know what I mean? It's not fun to joke around, but like it's straight away. She's had the cremation, she's home, and it's done. Like, we're not going to see all that kind of emotional stuff, arriving, finding a funeral, everybody going there, you know. It's just straight in, done, and now she's coming home. Maybe we move past it swiftly, or maybe we get him always saying, like, when somebody, you know, says a situation and then they go, oh, Ma used to do that, or oh, you should do that, Mum. Do you know what I mean? And it kind of plays in him a bit, you know what I mean? Like, situations comparing, that everybody does things differently, but again, like I said, only time will tell. It's interesting to see, and this is the first episode since we found out that she passed away and seeing how it reacts. So that's going to wrap up today's episode. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please smash the like, really helps out. Subscribe if you're new. And as always, I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers, guys.